Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome back to Runt9 Plays Nova Drift. We're gonna just jump right in here. So it's been a bit since I recorded any YouTube goodies. Been playing some on stream, been playing a bit on my own time, and just in general having a wonderful time with the game. If you haven't seen the Runt9 reviews video on this game to see why I think it is such a good game, you should probably go check that out. So what are we looking for in this run? You know what? Let's do a salvo run. I'm totally cool with that. And go for a little bit of reflect here. So I have been enjoying the crap out of this game and also working on trying to get better, even though I haven't had the greatest runs. I did have my first over 200k run. I'm pretty sure that that was an offline one. And I can tell you right out of the gate that I am definitely of the belief that constructs are kind of OP. Not gonna lie. Give me some blast radius on this. I think the constructs are pretty much the strongest way to play the game. And it's mostly because they just... It adds so much extra DPS to what you got going on. And so basically right here, I'm just building up a lot of rockets so we can unleash one really big salvo at the boss here. Even though it really didn't add that much. You know, projectile targeting does add a lot of good damage to your rockets. I mean, calibrate is something you really look forward to getting every time you are able to get it. I think high explosive is going to be a solid one here. The blast radius is actually pretty decent on salvo. I mean, I usually don't mind going with some constructs when it comes to utilizing our rockets, but we're not going to start off with a construct run on this one. But like I said, I've been playing quite a bit, and I feel like I'm getting better. Actually, last night on stream, this is going to be during the Friday 5x5, I had a really solid, what was it? Now I forget what it's called. A really solid flak run, that's what it is. It was my first one that got into, or just more than just barely into the six figures with a regular weapon that didn't involve constructs. And I think that I can definitely get there with a salvo run. So as long as I build it correctly. I don't want to get sucked into the singularity here. We will pull ourselves out of that one. So I haven't really done a blast radius run on this before. I feel like that it can be interesting. I don't think stacking rate of fire buff is necessarily that great. Actually, you know what? I haven't played with that before. I actually think it could be good because it means that you recharge your salvos faster. So I don't think that I necessarily care about having the ability to turn quicker on this guy, but I definitely wouldn't mind having the ability to thrust faster. Then we can focus on dodging and wait until we're in a good spot to unleash our salvo. So the stacking rate of fire buff does actually work pretty well for us here because it means that we get to that, you know, 30 to 40 salvo point a lot faster now. Of these, yeah, go ahead and give me the improved thruster, and I actually think we'll grab the thruster that gives us the line behind us. So I think I may actually take a break right after I record this one and go for a little bit of tea. I feel myself already starting to get a little tired from the day, which is crazy considering that this is the first video that I'm recording for the day. But I think having a little bit of tea might be a good idea. Make sure that I'm nice and awake, even though Nova Drift is definitely pretty adrenaline pumping on its own. So the Deadly Wake will also help with doing like clearing out the asteroids and things like that. You can see that by using Deadly Wake, we are lighting them on fire. So against these guys, so I don't actually know what siege weaponry does with rockets. So I'm curious to see how that actually works. And then like I said, you will hear me say this time and time again. If I see Revelation, I take Revelation. There are no exceptions. It's just too good not to. So this is what siege weaponry does, and it's kind of entertaining. It does seem fairly useless, and you know, I'm still in the experimentation stage with Nova Drift, where I'm very interested in learning more about how these different combos work together. But we're gonna get out of here and stand back for a minute. And try to get out of here over to the other side. And just focus on throwing some rockets inside this boss. Oh, we're gonna run right into those mines. I saw it a little too late. So with the power up here, we're definitely gonna want to get into... Oh crap, taking a lot of laser damage here. I'm just not used to having the power up and the thruster bonus, so I played that one pretty badly. Boss is almost dead here, just fire off a couple more salvos. Yeah, siege weaponry, actually kind of terrible, but you know, you live and you learn, and that's still a big part of it, is I want to learn what I do and don't like in Nova Drift. So Chaotic Ambition, honestly, not the worst recursive mod in the world, because this would give us 3 free rerolls and 3 wild mods offered per level. So I actually think I'm going to take that. Magnitude is probably going to be the best one here. Heavy Caliber is a solid one. I don't necessarily mind Streamline. So Leaf of the Wind is a super mod that we picked up through unlocks, and if we get Streamline and Warpath, it'll actually unlock this, which we already have Warpath. The longer you avoid enemy and hazard damage, the more Leaf on the Wind benefits you, up to 50% global damage after 60 seconds. Streamline is going to give us more thrust, lower size, lower max hull, lower crash damage resistance. We also have an opportunity to pick up Flash Shielding, which is faster shield cooldown, less max shields. When your shield breaks, it discharges powerful bolts of energy. When it's down, its cooldown can't be interrupted. Faster cooldown, faster effect power, faster thrust, less max shield. Your shield only begins cooldown when it breaks. So actually, both of those seem really good. Leaf on the Wind seems super great with a salvo run as a way to really take our damage up to that next level. So I definitely think that we're going to pick up Streamline here. It seems like, you know, it's a little bit spicy for now, but if we try to not die, fire off some good salvos and let the damage do what it needs to do for us, I'm definitely liking the blast radius. We may want to go with the concentrated blast effect. All right, so here's what I want. Oh, we didn't get any of the super mods. Transmogrification is not actually that great for us here. Reversing knockback direction is totally okay. I actually think I will take polar inversion here, because more blast radius on our salvos actually seems like it could be beneficial for us here, because of the fact that the blast radius is already so high. And now I definitely want to go for the concentrated blast effect if it pops up. So I'm going to definitely reroll here. We've got the rerolls and we should use them. So the shield cooldown, that gets us closer to that other super mod that can come up. And you see the blast radius really helps with making those enemies just die that much quicker. So the blast radius is actually really, really solid for us here. I feel like the gain volume is a little louder than usual. I will double check that in the options after this game. So far, so good. You know, I'm feeling solid about this run. I think that it's going to be a good run overall for us. Let's go a little bit of siege weaponry fun here. Totally fine taking a little bit of hull damage. It seems like it's actually not that bad, but it is pretty bad. So go ahead and give me the upgrade here. Outrage module isn't the worst idea in the world. You know, we are getting a lot of wild metamorphosis mods. Galvanic Outburst and Double Tap are both interesting. I think I will take Double Tap here. But I think that it can be... You know, I don't exactly know how it interacts with Salvo. And so it sends the rockets out a little bit slower. But the increased rate of fire does get us to higher levels of salvos quicker. And with the Warpath buff, we end up in a situation where we end up having the stacking rate of fire bonus. And so I'm actually thinking that it's working out pretty well for us. We're definitely going to grab Flash Shielding because I think Tempest Break is a great super mod to look out for as well. So I'm okay having a little bit of Burst Fire here, and I wouldn't mind picking up the Burst Fire regular mod as well. Again, the Blast Radius is putting in a lot of good work for us. And don't forget, you know, you do have Deadly Wake, so thrusting around is not the worst idea in the world. You definitely don't want to take crash damage, though. That's something that I need to be more careful with. All right, what do we want here? All right, I think Leaf on the Wind is just an easy one to grab here. Because now we just load up big salvos, try to avoid try to avoid damage as much as possible, and then unleash just a massive salvo with a ton of damage from Leaf on the Wind. And that felt really strong for me. What I think I want to do against this guy, you know, obviously get that torpedo launcher down, is let's just dodge as much damage as possible. Wait for him to do the first singularity, and then just launch an absolutely massive salvo at him right at the end. So I wanna just get over here, let the ads do what they want to do, and we'll just kind of skirt the edge here. Oh, we did take damage there, so that's gonna reset Leaf on the Wind, unfortunately. It's very, very sad for us. I did not want to reset Leaf on the Wind, but now we can just focus on dodging the asteroids, which we are not doing a good job of doing. Get back over here, and then we've got a massive salvo incoming here in just a second. Our shields are down, so let's go ahead and get it launched. We're taking a bunch of damage here. So let's try to play it a little bit safer here. We ended up not doing nearly as much damage as I wanted to do. But I think just focus on killing the ads here. We do need our shield to be back up. That would be strongly preferable. All right, so the strategy of waiting for a large buildup and letting Leaf on the Wind do what it does is unfortunately not working for us. This boss is actually going to take us a moment to kill, it seems like. So Volatile Shields, another double tap. I think Energized Shields and Discharge are both pretty interesting. You know, I don't know that I hate Winnow here. Volatile Shields, though, I think is probably the best one to grab here. So make sure we're dealing with the ads. The Warpath buff is going to be beneficial for us here. And just try to put as much damage down on the boss as we can. Deal with the ads, deal with the asteroids. You know, the crash damage we're taking is really, really bad for us because of the fact that we are smaller. So build up a little bit of a salvo here, give it just a second, and then try to launch one from a long distance. Keep in mind, like, with the size, the lowered max hull, the lowered shields, like, we are pretty squishy. Like, having just some raw damage mods probably would not be the worst idea in the world here. And even when he's in his, you know, fast spinning form, where usually he's invulnerable, because we have such a crazy blast radius setup going on, we actually can still do damage to him. So again, I'm actually like trying to make sure that we take the ads down. This has definitely been a very spicy boss battle, like, to say the least. We should be okay there. I know we're firing like right into the singularity, which probably isn't the greatest idea in the world. All right, so we can just kind of save up a salvo here, avoid the singularity, and try to throw out one good salvo at the end here. Was hoping that we could focus on killing the ads. Not quite working the way that I wanted it to. So the thing is, like, we're still alive. The boss is basically dead at this point. We just need to get a few more shots in there. So even though that took a while, the point is it did still happen. And that's obviously what we care most about here. Trying to focus on using Leaf on the Wind and taking literally no damage for a while is ideal. It's not working too great for us here. You know, our hull is pretty low. All right, let's try maybe getting Blink would not be a bad idea. Actually, let's grab Concentrated Blast. I had talked about grabbing that one before, because when we're focusing in on one enemy, it actually does do quite a lot of damage. So against this guy, since he's going to kind of charge at us, let's try to save up a bit of a big salvo. Let those torpedoes do what they do. Now, this is basically a mini boss. I think they call this either an elite or a champion. So we've got over 100 salvo here. All right, with the power-up, I'm definitely gonna just go ham here. Oh, we took damage. You want to try to not take damage for as long as humanly possible to let Leaf on the Wind do what it does. I mean, keep in mind, we are like super fragile now. I think a heavy caliber is not out of the question here, but I'm gonna actually use a reroll. Magnitude is exactly what I was looking for. Increased blast radius, increased damage. You know, we gotta focus on actually putting some damage mods in our build. You know, we've done some interesting stuff, but the problem is our actual damage output on its own is just not that high right now. And unfortunately, damage output is how you stay alive, because the longer you let enemies survive, the harder it is to keep dodging. Oh gosh, just like that. So actually getting some legitimate damage mods is going to be very important. I felt it. I really felt it. As soon as I was flying across there, I'm like, I think I'm going to run into some torpedoes and die here. So yeah, there was that 222,000 run that I got. Again, I'm pretty sure that was an off-stream one. That was lots of constructs. You can see a lot of orange mods going on there. That was a really fun one. And then the one we had on stream, there was, I think it was this one. Yeah, this was our flak run that we did on stream, that 122 right there. Oh man, I felt like we had a good run going there, but again, like we just ran out of damage. We're not quite at the 20-minute mark, so we're going to send it in, try to go for another serious run here. I wouldn't mind a construct run, but honestly, it's just going to depend on what weapon we start out with and what shields and whatnot we're looking at. So I actually think that I've been wanting to try to do a good Vortex run and still try to figure out what mods I like with Vortex. And honestly, I just haven't really figured it out yet. You know, it's kind of hard to figure out for me what actually ends up being good with Vortex. I'm honestly perfectly fine going with Temporal on this one. And then Architect is an interesting one. But if we're going to go with Temporal, I think Sentinel is probably going to be the best one to go for out of those three at least. We're definitely going to want hull regeneration because of the ramping hull damage that we're inevitably going to be taking here. I'm thinking going for targeting is going to be a good one here. I don't really want to take guidance. And homing strike is not that great, but it does get us to convergence. But I think targeting on its own and then grabbing calibration is going to be good enough, is what I would say. Having just a little bit of projectile targeting can go a long way with Vortex, I feel like. But we're definitely going to want to focus on projectile velocity and projectile size, I would say. Rate of fire also increases charge time, and I would say that increased charge time is also kind of a great mod to have. I also think Vortex is another good Leaf on the Wind candidate if we decide to go that route. But that's going to be going for thrusters and going for, what was it, the small boy? I forget what the mod is called because I almost never take it, but honestly, I think Leaf on the Wind is a solid mod to have with Vortex, since you're doing a lot of the same kind of charging thing that you're doing with the salvo. I think Magnitude is a good one here. I'm not going to go Guidance because that minus 20% velocity just really scares me. Rate of fire does actually seem pretty decent. I don't know if Burst Fire is going to work with Vortex, but honestly, I'm kind of curious. So let's take Burst Fire, learn how it works, and then give me projectile velocity. So how does Burst Fire work? So it fires decreasing size. It doesn't just fire two small ones. I don't think I like that, but you know, it certainly could be worse. It does also increase our rate of fire, which gets our charge time up better. I think whole regen is going to be pretty much a must in this run. Regenerative shields is passive shield regen. Energized shields seems okay. Shield effect radius is pretty much always a go-to. More radiant shields. I don't think I want that one. I think probably focus shields is going to be better out of those options. But I think increased thrust and going for streamline is actually going to be a pretty solid one for us here. So yeah, the burst fire does seem pretty bad, actually. Not gonna lie. I'm not feeling that one too much. Them laser boys are giving me a hard time pretty much every time I play. What a terrible, terrible run. I don't know, dude. I'm bad at Vortex. So, again, you know, we're doing a lot of experimentation, and that one I wanted to see, how does Vortex interact with Burst Fire? I think the short answer is it's not awful, but it's far from good. I think if you're going to go that route, you go Volley. I think Volley works better with Vortex than Burst Fire does. So now we are past the 20-minute mark, which means that it is time for a little bit of Zane. So let's find out what our Zany run is going to look like. You know what? I'm fine with a Zany Vortex run. We were kind of doing some interesting things with Salvo. It's kind of hard to do a Zany split shot run because I feel like everything works with it, but right off the bat, I'm thinking an interesting one would kind of be going for like a blast radius split shot run. But let's go for Vortex, and maybe we go with Volley plus blast radius and try to be, you know, super big AoE Vortex kind of setup. I mean, projectile velocity is like one of those that you always take if you're doing a Vortex run. So let's not take projectile velocity, kind of just focus on it being more of a close range kind of setup. Keep in mind, the ramping hull damage is a thing you have to worry about, so you have to let your Vortex go at some point. I think Bastion is going to be a good one here. I'm actually perfectly happy going for Assault on this, and then give me Volley. So what do we do here? Well, you send out 3 Vortexes. That's what you do. Ramping hull damage is a real thing, and we have very little hull regen. I don't want to talk about it. I'm bad with Vortex. That one, the ramping hull damage got to me, and that was the end of that one before it even started. All right, let's do a crazy railgun run. Let's try to make our... I think I've done the concept of siege weaponry with railgun before. Maybe. I don't actually remember if I have or not. I want to do a machine gun railgun run, where we sit and hold the button down, hold the mouse button down, and let siege weaponry put in some serious work for it. Grab an upgrade here. Give me... I always do like reflect. Spectre can be good, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be what we want on this one. Give me a reroll. Sentinel. What shield do we have? We have reflect. Yeah, give me assault. And then what I'm looking for here, I was gonna do... Blast radius is also a fun one. Let's reroll this. Blast radius can be a fun one. Projectile targeting doesn't really work with railgun because it shoots too quickly. So just give me blast radius and then we'll work on it from there. Blast radius is a lot of fun with railgun because the blast size that it creates on a weapon that doesn't inherently have blast radius is created based on the damage that it does. And because it has such a high base damage, the initial blast radius is actually super high. That's right, rate of fire siege weaponry, I think is gonna be just really entertaining to see. Get used to holding the mouse button down and seeing what that does for you. Now again, siege weaponry does cause that ramping hull damage, and as you have seen already, we aren't exactly good at dealing with ramping hull damage. I think having some burning thrusters, whether we get the wild metamorphosis fireball one or otherwise, would also be nice for dealing with mines. Send it, brother. Oh crap, I ran right into it. That's a lot of rate of fire for a railgun, dude. You gotta love it. Alright, concentrated blast. Seems good. Give me warpath. Give me siege weaponry. Twin strike. Honestly, twin strike is kind of neat here. We're gonna take scorching wake though. Give me magnitude. All right. So we have basically a machine gun railgun that does a ton of hull damage. So we're gonna want regen like nobody's freaking business. Oh crap, 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 crap. Just dodge forehead. And then get out of here. So it does go, you know, as fast as we click, and that doesn't trigger siege weaponry. Let's try to shoot some fireballs out to clear these mines. We need hull regen so bad. Rupture is good. Max hull would also be nice. There is our hull regen, thankfully. Still could use more, but the machine gun railgun is a lot of fun. That's what I'm talking about when trying to do zany builds. Is like, hey, does this work? Turns out the answer is yes. So how quickly can we take this boss down if we get all up in here in its business and just go for this? So we got one of the sides down. Keep in mind, ramping hull damage is a thing, and you don't have a ton of regen yet. Alright, just stay at range. You know, railgun works perfectly fine from a very long range. Go to the other side. I mean, this is a boss that I've faced a million times at this point, so it's not like it's that hard to deal with. I'm really enjoying this whole machine gun, railgun concept. I guess I could just shorten it to machine rail, or machine railgun. Rail machine. Fully automatic railgun. We do have an upgrade ready here. I think projectile velocity is going to be a solid one. Juggernaut is okay. But definitely, you know, we are going for a zany run though. So actually give me a rerun. Splinter, payload, rapid reconstruction will get rid of our shield, and honestly that's perfectly okay. As at this point, I just want all of the regen and give me a large amount of hull resistance. Siege weaponry is actually a lot of fun with the railgun. It does a huge amount of DPS if you know, are careful about it. Are we taking a bunch of self-damage? Absolutely. Does it still do a crap ton of damage? Absolutely. Are we healing okay after we do, you know? It's kind of like having a machine gun in a video game that you have to kind of wait for it to cool down. Oh, I hate it when it spins fast like this. You can kind of dodge in there, and then get to the other side, and then come back around. It is taking a while because I'm playing this kind of poorly. Lots of ramping hull damage there. Let's just click normally instead of using siege weaponry. There we go, much better. And so we do have rupture, and so when the boss exploded, it killed literally everything. Upgrade would be nice. More regen, please. Efficiency actually seems pretty good for us here, not gonna lie. Damage plating is also incredibly good for us. But I think more regen and potentially going for Splinter. It does decrease rate of fire, and I actually don't want to go for that. Burst fire is pretty neat. But I wonder how burst fire works with siege weaponry. I don't want to do volley, I don't think. So actually just reroll and get me hyper metabolism was actually exactly what I was about to say. And just start shooting. Good shooting, Tex. Now we have some solid regen. We're not firing. Give it a second to regen. Get out of trouble. And then just machine gun until everything is dead. I'm okay with this, honestly. Just get a bunch of defense mods and let this keep doing what it's doing. Don't want burst fire. Yeah, give me absorption. Oh, adrenal module though. Think about what that means. When we're in siege weaponry mode and we're machine gunning, as we start taking damage, we're doing more. I gotta take it though, is the thing. Like this guy, machine gun the crap out of him before he even starts firing. And then we have like less accuracy issues because we're really just focusing on shooting the crap out of things. That was just bad on my part. But yeah, give me my hull regen. I am having a lot of fun with this build. I would not have expected that siege weaponry plus railgun was actually this good, and then you just load up on defense. I mean, I'm thinking plus 20% max hull seems really good here. The lower thrust can be overcome if we focus on the thrust tree next. Nice shooting, Tex. Yeah, definitely time for absorption now, is what I would say. So this guy, let's just see how quickly we take him down by machine gunning the crap out of him. Dude, took that guy down in one shot. We're taking damage. Okay, how about we get behind him and kill him? Much better. This guy only takes a few shots. I am loving this build far more than I ever thought I would. You know, I think we actually have enough regen to kind of survive a little bit here. Give me a little siege weaponry work here. Just clear the screen. Give me an upgrade, brother. The regen is actually really good now. Payload seems good. Force armor. It's all crash damage stuff. I don't think that's actually that beneficial. I think going for payload here, yeah, it does reduce our rate of fire, but we're gonna want the scaling damage here. So against this guy, what happens if we just, you know, lock and load? Get out of here. He's way too close for comfort. Get our regen up, and then start smacking him. All right, the ramping hull damage is scary. Need some regen. Doesn't mean we have to stop firing, though, is the thing. Like that is something important to remember, is like, just because we... No, don't take me, brother! Like, we don't have to stop firing entirely when we start taking hull damage. We just have to stop machine gunning. And we can actually kind of reset it. Good stuff. I mean, this boss is still taking a while to kill, but I mean, he always kind of does because he's got those orbiting defense thingies. All right, we do have an upgrade ready. Send it. Get out of there. He's gonna stop that shortly. Just kill him. I mean, I have had easier boss fights against that guy, but not by much, honestly. I'm wondering if more regen rate would be good, but it's another 15% reserved, and that does scare me a lot. I think that high explosive is kind of a neat one to grab here, because it's just a flat blast radius. There's no negatives on it. All right, definitely scary. I'm perfectly happy coming around the corner here. All right, I kind of lost where I was for a second there. Got a little spicy, not gonna lie. All right, give me a little bit of machine gun fire here. This is where I think that I'm okay starting to think about a volley type situation. I realize that I have done a shot rail run recently, but man, I'm starting to think it might not be the worst idea to get a little bit of an AoE going on here. Especially with siege weaponry doing what it does. That's just so much damage, dude. I am loving this run so freaking much, brother. Oh, we need to clear the screen? Perfect. I got you, fam. These guys just kind of get in close on them. Splinter seems good. You know, armor stacks seem pretty decent. Because I don't think there's any more hull, like straight hull defense we can grab. I think Splinter is... Because honestly, this is turning into kind of a serious run. Like, I think we got to start treating that this way, because we're into the 50,000s on what was supposed to be just kind of a for fun run. All right, let's get over here and then just machine gun a little bit, clear the screen. That's a reroll. Almost at time for another upgrade. All right, get out of there, because we're gonna take a bunch of damage if we just stand there. Because those shield guys. All right, get out of there. Oh crap! There's a lot going on here. This is probably the end of us. Maybe not. Oh my goodness! I have no idea how we made it out of that alive. The regen is putting in some serious work for us right now. 100%, I do not want recoil. If I take the recoil mod, like, we're done. All right, give me an upgrade here. There's mastery. I love it. Thank you so much for the mastery. 5% to everything. Just go around him, dude. It's like absolutely the better way to play against those guys. Don't laser me, bro. All right, I want a little machine gun, railgun action here, please. Dude, this is so fun. I am loving this. Firing array, make the center one better. Absolutely, please and thank you. Because I'm still gonna be mostly aiming is the thing. Nope, don't hit me. Just take out all the things, please. All right, this boss. Let's regen, and then let's see what happens when we just start getting a little closer. What happens when we do this right in your face? All right, he's lasering us. Oh my goodness. Okay, just stay calm. Oh my gosh, dude. That's a lot of damage. Get out of there. Dude. All right, machine gun mode engaged. Holy crap, I have never killed that boss that quickly before. Oh crap, that guy, the crash damage is mean. All right, we're gonna die here. We're dead. We are not dead. I do not know how we are not dead, but we are not dead. Okay, grab our upgrade. I am so locked in right now. I need better upgrades. Focus fire, 110%, please and thank you. Don't stand there. Regen, please. All right, we need to come out here and then just get into machine gun turret mode and just murder the screen. All right, regen, please and thank you. Oh my goodness. I am pogged out of my freaking mind right now. This is pure bliss. I don't need that tea now. I got all the adrenaline in the world pumping through my veins. You're no problem. You, I can probably deal with straight up now. Oh, crap. Get out of here. Ramping hull damage is a thing. We still got him. Get rid of those guys. All right, we are regened. So let's try to burst that guy down. Easy enough. Get rid of the torpedo shooter, and then these guys do a bunch of damage if you're not careful. Give me an upgrade. Honestly, force armor seems pretty decent because we are taking some crash damage now. I think Fusillade, it's really scary, and I don't know that it really offers us that much. But honestly, I think the AoE could end up being hugely beneficial for us here. Get out of there. Okay, I realize this is basically turning into the shot rail episode that I'm pretty sure went up today. Today being Saturday the whatevereth, 14th. But it's very different because it's also a machine shotgun railgun run. And that's what makes it different. This guy, I want to just freaking blast you, brother. Oh my goodness. Oh, baby. All right, I want more defense mods. Galvanic Outburst is good, but I think Adaptive Armor is going to do a lot of good for us here. Lots of damage. Give me some good regen. You want to be in closer against these guys, so calibration would certainly be good. Especially since if we get calibration, although I think it's too late, I think we're not going to get that as an option at this point. Yeah, the AoE capabilities are more than worth it because at this point there's so many enemies on the screen that you really have to be able to deal with. All right, give me the upgrade. We can still get projectile velocity. I want the targeting is the thing. Let's use some rerolls and see. Honestly, if you're gonna give me projectile, or no, we did want velocity because that's the. Yeah, I screwed it up. Use some rerolls here. Yeah, because there's calibrate. We actually do want velocity. That's also going to increase damage is the thing. Because railgun damage also scales with projectile velocity. So I don't care about the targeting itself. What I care about is calibration, reducing the projectile spread. Taking some damage here. But overall, life could be a lot worse right now. We are into the six figures. And I think this is about to pass the flak run that I had on stream the other day. Or yesterday, I mean. Give me a little bit of siege weaponry action here. Go into machine gun mode. Give me calibrate. And then what we want is the super mod that links siege weaponry and calibrate together. It doesn't give us the scaling rate of fire bonus, but it calibrates our weapon over time. You can see how ridiculous calibrate is. Because now wait for it, and then full, you take 5 shots of railgun to the face. It does just crazy amounts of damage. So what are we gonna do here? Well, first we're gonna dodge that. And honestly, I think we don't want to siege weaponry here. We want to just wait for a good shot and shoot a fully calibrated shot right inside of his defense orbs. Wait for the calibrate. All right, use a little AoE to get the ads down, and then obviously like get out of there and don't take a bunch of unnecessary damage. Clear ads. Keep clearing ads. So this is going to end up being like a super long episode because this was an unexpectedly good run, but you love to see it. You know, that's certainly not a bad thing, and I want to make it clear that that's not a bad thing. This is an amazing thing. All right, don't stand in his laser. We wasted the calibrate. All right, I'll go full machine gun here for a second. Got him. Okay, so now it's this boss. What do we do against this boss? I mean, first we upgrade. There's saturation fire. So this is what I wanted to see. It calibrates as we machine gun. Look at that, brother. Okay, we gotta stay out of this. Just focus on dodging right now. Just focus on dodging those shots. That's the only thing that matters right now. Oh, the crash damage though. The crash damage is so bad for us. Can we calibrate in and do a bunch of damage? All right, we can take literally 0 damage at this point. We need to get regen started. Super spiced, but we're doing it is the thing. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. All right, calibrate. All right, he's going for crash damage again. Just get out of there. Just get out of there. You've got the boost. Sorry, radio silence. Holy crap, dude. Look at this run, brother. This was meant to be zany. And it is zany, but that's what's great is sometimes the zaniest builds are the ones that actually work, dude. Oh, I gotta breathe for a second. I gotta breathe for a second, brother. Channeling, improved regeneration. Give me that, please, and thank you. What do we do against this guy? Well, we siege weaponry the crap out of him, brother. Oh my goodness. Okay, that works so well in this build. And we've got the regen to stay alive. You know, you just got to know when to let go. Stabilization, I don't think is necessarily going to help us, although the rotation speed is kind of nice. Definitely not that. Increased burn damage, you know, it's not out of the question. Give me a reroll here. Last Stand, I think now is a perfect time to grab Last Stand. All right, who are you sending? Who are you sending? I know my commentary is not tip-top right now, but it's because I am just in full adrenaline. I gotta keep dodging and make this run as crazy good as I can. Just know when to bail out. That's the most important part of doing this run, is know when to bail out. Like right now, we're taking a bunch of hull damage. Get out of there. Regen. The damage output when we are able to enter machine gun mode is just out of this freaking world, dude. This is a combo that I was not expecting and has just completely surpassed my expectations. I believe this has now entered into second best run of all time territory for me. Take a sip of water. I don't know if burst fire would increase or decrease our weapon or damage at this point. At this point, I'm gonna say it's not worth it to test anything. Give me a reroll. So increased thrust, core shielding though. That's damage resistance, armor stack duration, and base hull. I'm also seeing snipe as damage increase, but needless to say, damage is not our problem at the moment. So sometimes you don't want your siege weaponry to work because you do want to fire in an AoE. Still being able to one-shot some of these enemies at this high of a level is hugely, hugely impressive. Okay, these guys, here's what you do. Is you enter machine gun mode and you just hope and pray that you kill them before they start doing their crazier attacks. And my God, is it working? Against these guys, just run off screen and oh goodness, we gotta kill them. We gotta kill them before they kill us. That's a bunch of hull damage. Give me an upgrade. Plus blast radius, but change it. Honestly, give me rebuke. A little bit extra damage. It's so good, brother. Oh no, we died. Oh goodness, what a run, brother. What a run. 100%, that's the most fun I've ever had playing Nova Drift, and that's saying something because this game is phenomenal. Oh, I wanted to get that 200,000 so bad. So basically what happened is I went into machine gun mode, we were taking self-damage, and they were burning us. I wanted to just try to focus them down, and I should have played it a little bit safer. Holy crap, what a run. I gotta take a break after this one. I'm shaking right now. I'm legitimately shaking. If I jumped into the next one right now, I'd probably just die immediately. That was so incredibly much fun. I gotta take some deep breaths, dude. Let's see what we unlocked. Causes you to no longer collide with enemies, targets, and most celestial hazards. So I want to find out what causes you to get that. I 100% want that. 110%. Every single run. Rancor. Causes damage taken from any source while charging your weapon to increase the charge. Oh, that seems like a great one for Vortex. And then I don't know what this one is. We will see that next. Runt9. This is another non-construct run. We did have 3 super mods. The super mods help a lot. The last stand ended up not meaning anything because it was a bam bam, popped our last stand, killed the screen, and then immediately died again. But I think that's because I was still holding the button down. The self-damage killed us. That was an almost 200k run without constructs. I'm starting to prove that it's not only constructs that are going to get you your good runs here. But for now, I'm going to end things off here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know your feedback, likes, dislikes, comments. Sorry for hitting the microphone. I'm super jazzed up right now. Also hit me up on Twitter at Runt9Plays. I'd love to hear what you think about this series. You can also watch me streaming this game every so often over on twitch.tv/Runt9Plays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. But until the next episode, I'm Runt9, and I will see you later.